What's up, everyone? I'm Justin Maytack with my sister Melissa Maytack,
Hey, everybody!
and we are Room 51, where we talk all things board gaming. And today we are doing a Q&A in celebration of having our first ever video hit over 1,000 views. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we have a bunch of questions over here that have already been asked via like social media and stuff. But if you have any questions, and I will remind people of this throughout the stream, and so will Melissa, please drop them in the chat and we will answer them.
Yes, absolutely. I guess we'll go back and forth between like what's going on in the live chat and what's going on
Yeah.
the questions that we were sending. We were sending a nice amount of questions, which is
Mm,
cool. So I'm happy about that. But let's get right into it.
yeah.
With the first question. What are your okay, the way it was worded was what are your favorite or most played non-hobby / mass market games?
Yes.
And I didn't quite, I think what they meant was what are your favorite, most played mass market games, essentially? Because
Yeah,
otherwise I'm like, I don't know.
no, they mean not hobby, as in like non-hobby
Right,
games,
non-hobby,
or
but
slash mass market.
right, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So did you? I had one that actually like pretty. Two immediately jumped to mind when I read that question. I
Okay,
tried,
go
by
for
the
it.
way, not to write down any answers or anything. I wanted it
Yeah,
to
I
be,
wasn't really
yeah.
thinking about anything, so yes. This is
But
all
once
gonna
I
be off
saw
the top
that,
of my head.
yeah, once I saw that, though, two names immediately came to mind. So number one, Statadores. I enjoy Statadores a lot. That's a fun one for me. You get to roll a die and it'll give you a letter, and then you have to, in a certain category, you have to write down different names that start with that letter and stuff. I find that a lot of fun. It's intense and everything. The other uh, game that kind of shouted out to me was Catchphrase. Catchphrase is
Mm-hmm.
one that we played a ton of, and it is a
Yes.
fun game. We definitely played it to death because
Yes.
we played that before we were really into hobby games.
Right.
So we played it to death, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, I think Categories is a great game in terms of mass market. I think Catchphrase is really good and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking about like right now, what my favorite, like I guess mass market game is, I think it would be Exploding Kittens.
That one is a good one. I didn't think of that. That
It's
one's fun.
yeah, that one's pretty fun. Like if you were to ask me to play it today, I'd probably go ahead and play that.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah, this is pretty fun and it's pretty cool. But as for like most played, it's probably Catchphrase.
Yeah.
Um, I think, yeah, that one, like, if you ask me to play today, I probably won't because we played it so much. We loved
Right.
that game, but done with that one. But that's my answer to the question. Exploding Kittens with Catchphrase being, the one that we've probably played the most. What is up, Board Game
Yeah, how's
Dads?
it going? How are you
Hello,
hanging with the
wonderful
pride
humans.
flag? I
Pride
like
flag,
it.
love it. Pride
Yeah,
month, what?
yeah, I would say Exploding Kittens. That's one that's in my mind. That's a good one, though. I like it. All right,
Nice.
cool.
Do you want to read off the next
Yeah. So
question?
the next question is there any board game you two love to play but never get a chance to get to it? And that's a lot of games. That's a
Yeah,
lot of games.
yep.
I would say the ones that stick out the most for me are the two-player war games. So
Mm.
1775, which does go up to four, that's one that I would love to be able to play more. Napoleonics, Command and Colors, that's one I would love to play more. I think the war games are the ones that immediately shout out to me because they're hard to hit the table, but I love them.
Yeah, I think that the one of the games that I love playing, but for whatever reason, like rarely get the chance to play it with other people because I've played it solo several times. Robinson Crusoe.
Mm,
That one I love, but it like never hits the table.
mm.
The other one is, and this one really like has not hit the table, and I don't quite know what it is other than the box just being a mess of like cards and tiles and things, and that is Journeys in Middle Earth.
Ah, okay, interesting.
That one, yeah. I think I kind of just want to start over, play it solo, and just forget everyone and just play through it. I think I would have a lot of fun with that. I love the IP and the system,
That
and it's not
game,
hard to
yeah.
play.
For some reason though, the game intimidates me in terms of like sitting down and trying to play it and stuff. I also remember the first time we played, I didn't fully get what's going on. So I think like I want to sit. Not that I didn't fully get what's going on, but it felt like I don't know. It felt like the game that I have to try again, and I think I actually would like to try it again from the very beginning, not where we left off.
Yeah, I feel like I've played that first scenario about 5 different times trying to teach people it. It's actually really simple because you're just like, from what I remember, it's just like this card and you decide like, am I playing it or am I,
Right.
using it as a skill, whatever. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Next question.
What do you consider to be the best board game ever made? I
Yeah.
thought this was actually a really hard question because there's a difference between my favorite board game of all time and the best board game ever made.
Yeah,
Like,
I had to interpret it that way also.
Yeah.
I made sure to interpret it that way because I didn't want to give away my number one pick to my
yeah, I don't
top
want to do that.
51.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing a top 51 soon, so that's going to come out soon.
The best board game ever made. I mean, I'm immediately just starting to inch towards TI4. I think the whole experience that TI4 provides is just so impressive to provide that in a box. War of the Ring also is very impressive to put Lord of the Rings in a box like that. There's several like that. I guess those are what I'm like going towards right now, but it's a tough question. I don't know.
That is a really hard question because it's like there's so many games and then there's so many games we haven't played, So for us to say something like that's so definitive,
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to probably go like each genre. And I also feel like I'm not qualified because I have not played enough games to say, what is the best board game ever made. But I would say, I honestly, I don't know. Like, in terms of like being just like mechanically smooth and the theme is there, I would think like that's still very opinionated.
Yeah.
But I want there to be theme. I don't know, chess.
Wow, you just said you want there to be theme.
I know. I picked the worst thing, right?
Chess, in terms of like abstract strategies and stuff, chess is a very impressive game in my opinion. Like
it is impressive, like what it was able to do.
Yeah.
Either that or like Go or something. It's probably the best board game ever made.
Right. I love how you just said though that you need theme.
I know. But these games like transcended time,
Exactly.
like and they're international, worldwide, like people know about it all over the place. So
and something that's beautiful about that is it's a great way, I think, to get other people into the hobby is, so many people do know a board game because they've probably played something along the lines of chess or backgammon, dominoes, things like that. They've probably done something along those lines.
Yeah. Now, those are definitely not my favorite games. And I don't know if they really are the best board games ever made, but I'm gonna say chess.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now, I'm just gonna stick with TI4, just as I'm so impressed with what it was able to put inside of a box. But it's tough. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chess might be there for me. All right, though. So the next question is, where do you find your inspiration for life in general, or specifically for content creation? I know my answer for content creation, generally speaking. So streaming, usually the inspiration is literally like, oh, this would be a fun game to play on stream. And what definitely is like an inspiration though to keep streaming is the fact that we have viewers that stop by and chat. If we didn't have people chatting, I think we would have quit streaming a while ago. I think we need that. If we didn't have that, I don't think we would have lasted long. So I would call that a bit of a source of inspiration. But in terms of non-streaming for videos and stuff, a lot of the inspiration actually comes from conversations and ideas that I see like on the internet and on forums and whatnot about board games in general, just different arguments and stuff come about. Uh, I enjoy being then able to take that and kind of become part of it a little bit.
Tom McCack, what is up?
Uh,
Hey,
hey, how's it going?
how are you? That's this is a relative we didn't know we
Yeah,
had.
pretty cool. How's it hanging? Well, yeah, so
Live Q&A. So yeah, so for I guess we're starting off with the second part for
that's just where I start off with. You don't have to.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll go there. So for content creation specifically, it changed over time what my inspiration was, because at first my inspiration was the Dice Tower, right? Like I always thought it'd be so cool to be on the Dice Tower, right? Like they
Right.
were everything to me, right?
Yeah.
Like that was the content that I watched all the time, you
Right.
know. So that was my inspiration, and then also just like loving to play and talk about board games, but not being able to talk about board games all the time with everybody I know, because I'd wind up boring them to death. So there was that. But this gave me a way to do that. I was able to talk about board games, and I also wanted to like tap into my like creative and like film aspiration side of me. So
Yeah.
that was the initial inspiration for me. Now for creating content, it's honestly the viewers. That
Yeah.
is like almost my sole inspiration. I still love talking about board games and everything, but the viewers is what, and like the community that's been built around like Room 51.
Yeah. The
That
board
is
gaming
it. Yeah.
community in
Yes.
general has been
Yeah.
just phenomenal. And
Yeah,
what
it's
is up,
other
Rolling with Rock?
Yes, Rolling with Rock coming
Triple
on
M.
in
Oh,
Triple
and
M
hi,
and
Justin.
hi Justin.
How's it
Oh
going?
my gosh, how are you? Rolling with Rock. We're doing
Yeah.
our live Q&A to celebrate our very first video that reached 1K viewers,
Yeah.
or views rather. But yeah, it would be other content creators, and then but it's mostly the viewers.
Right. Yeah, no, I feel you. And the life in general part of that though is so tricky. It's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm inspired or not inspired by things every single day. Like there's just something that sometimes something inspires me during the day that makes me want to do something, and then I'll have days where nothing.
Nothing, right? Like,
uh,
I'm gonna chill in bed, get the
yeah,
world.
I'm just gonna like play video games for a day, and like not even say like just not feel inspired to do something specific. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna
Yeah.
like do my normal thing and go with it. But I feel like I don't have this overall inspiration that drives me through life, kind of thing.
Right, right.
I guess kind of wanting to like set up my life since I'm 23, so I'm like trying to kind of set up life a little bit. I guess that's, but I don't view that as form of inspiration. It's more of a demand.
It's more of a demand. I have to do something with my
Yeah.
life. Rolling with Rock says, "Nice to see you, friends. It's nice to see you. Thank
Nice
you
to
for
see
stopping on
you.
by."
Yeah, thank you.
And definitely anybody who's watching, feel free to drop in your questions, and we'll
Yeah.
get to those as well.
Absolutely.
We'll interchange between questions that have been already sent and questions that you have live right now.
Yeah, heck yeah.
As for me, where I find my inspiration, it depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right. So like my inspiration for just like life in general, like being who I am, like being the more confident person that I am today as opposed to like 10 years ago, and like being, more open about like my sexuality, my gender identity and everything, has got to be my fiance, Catherine.
Right.
She inspires me every day to be like the best form of myself. And being as true to myself as possible, which has been an amazing journey in and of itself that I won't quite get into right now.
Right.
But she is a huge inspiration for me. And in terms of, I love to do art and like write poetry and all that stuff. Again, she's a huge inspiration, but also just like watching other people like spoken word poetry, definitely inspires me. Watching movies about writers inspires me to like write and do things.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and all these, I have so many aspirations, you know, and multiple
Exactly.
things inspire me to do different factions of my life, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I'm too all over the place, so it's like something is going to make me pick up a certain part that I want to be doing, and then some things that make me want to do something else. I
Yeah,
was going to
yeah.
say Sabrina, but I didn't want to sound cheesy, that's all. Oh, congrats, and cue the tears.
And cue the tears. Catherine, that's her.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
But yeah, no, I
I
definitely
wasn't
feel
meaning
you.
to sound cheesy or anything. But
No, you
that
didn't. You
was,
didn't.
I was genuine. That was very, very
No,
genuine.
I like didn't know how to phrase it without sounding cheesy, but it really does just come to, like, I don't know. I feel like inspiration for me is just so random and sporadic.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure, for sure. I mean, sometimes it's just inner inspiration. It's like, man, I'm feeling really hyper today,
yeah.
so I'm gonna go do things.
I think the other thing that's tricky with inspiration is sometimes you really want to be inspired to do something,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not happening, and that can be a very frustrating feeling sometimes. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes you really want to.
I hate that.
Yeah, you really want to be productive in something, but you're just not feeling the inspiration to do it. It's tricky. Inspiration's hard.
Inspiration is tough. Yay for Matthew and Catherine!
Should definitely said Sabrina. Shaking my head.
Yeah,
I messed up
actually,
big time.
you know, Sabrina's gonna be pissed now when she sees this.
Sabrina is already fuming. Is it my turn to read the question?
No, I think actually it's my turn.
Okay.
But first, Rolling with Rock said,
Oh.
Justin would sound cheesy, Matthew's just romantic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm bad at like the romance, like sounding romantic or anything. I'm not that. That's not my forte.
Me neither, don't worry. Alright, so this one is an interesting question. I mean, they've all been interesting questions,
Yeah,
but
I've liked
I
them
mean,
so
I
far.
think anyway. What's the next big step you'd like to take with Room 51?
Yeah.
This one's tough because I feel like we're constantly taking small steps towards a big goal that we don't even
Right.
know what it is. I mean, I guess our next big milestone would be to like reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That would be amazing.
Yeah, but is a milestone a big step?
So a bit, yeah, it's not a big step. I think the next big step for Room 51 would be to like, I don't even like maybe like get sponsored by someone. That would be cool. I think we're a long ways away from that.
I think so too. I feel like I when I hear step though, I'm thinking like this is something we're going to intentionally try to do. That we're gonna like just go for it, you know, a little leap of faith maybe. And I feel like we don't have that until we do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like once
Yeah.
if we were able to tell you this is our next big step, it would already be happening right now. Like we'd be trying
Right.
for it at this moment.
At this moment, yeah, I feel like what we're always just trying to constantly do is improve our content,
Yeah.
improve like the look of the content. Like right now, I'm using a light, which I think looks better.
Right.
Right now, and we were able to do that through Twitch, through amazing donators who have donated to Room 51 so that we could up our game a little bit.
Yeah.
We have the green screen. We're always trying to come up with new ideas in terms of like what kinds of videos to make. Sometimes we get a little bit ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Maybe
and-
that
yeah.
even might be it where like I have a feeling our next big step is likely gonna be some new form of content that we try to go for. You know, for example, the birthday party video that we came up with.
Yes, yes.
But that was a that was tricky, you know?
That was. I think.
that was a
I
big
think
step.
that is the next big step is to create more and more of those types of videos because
Yeah.
that was always what me and Justin wanted to do. Like
Yeah.
not so much skits, but skits. Like
Yeah.
you know, like make fun, just have fun making videos that are you know
Exactly.
just like I don't know random I guess, but they
Yeah.
have something to do with board games.
Yeah, and I liked how you said it because it's like we don't want to do full on skits, but we want to
Yeah.
kind of have a skittish kind of thing going on there.
Yeah, yeah, like with our pump up that game
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I guess the next big step is the new segment that will come out eventually, which is going to be my segment on combining poetry and board games. Because, like I said before, I write poetry and I want to get that out to the world. I would love for that to get published. I have a whole book and I would love for it to get published, but I would love for everyone who watches Room 51 to know these poems. So I'm going to probably do readings of them and connect them to board games.
Yeah.
And that'll be cool.
Rolling with Roth, though, by the way, said Room 51's next mid-step, the complete annihilation of the other sibling for a complete takeover.
Yes, that is, that's been going
for a while.
strong. I think I'm winning.
Yeah.
And Justin will soon be out of the picture.
Well, we'll see.
If all goes
we'll see
well.
how it goes.
If all goes well.
But yeah, and I do, by the way, really like the idea of getting sponsored. If there was a way for us to get sponsored, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that one's far off, but I think that would probably be the next big step, like if we actually were to get sponsored.
Yeah, that would be pretty huge, and I think that would definitely be a bit of a turning point if that happened.
If that were to happen, yeah. I think, do we have like construction going on right now?
I guess so. There's the trucks outside have been wilding lately. How much has that been named picked up by our mites? Curious.
I don't know. I hear it.
All right, cool though. Ooh.
Okay, what's the origin? Yeah.
What is the origin story of the Room 51 name / logo?
That is funny because I actually had that as like a commonly asked question, but not about the logo. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, would you like to tell that story?
I'll
talk about the logo. You talk about the Room 51 story.
So the Room 51 story is kind of interesting. I actually rewatched the episode. Anyway, I'll say that after. So it all started with a show called Recess on the Disney Channel. Has anybody here ever seen the show Recess? I feel like I don't know. I feel like not that many people have watched this the way I imagined, but
it was my favorite cartoon of all time for a very long time.
It was such a good show. It was literally just about like kids in elementary school, and it mostly had to do around their recess time and everything. And there was a whole bunch of fun stuff that would happen and good morals to learn and whatnot. But there was this one episode where essentially there were these, the pale kids, the P-A-L-E, pale kids, because their skin was pale. They would always stay inside during recess, and they always went to a place called Room 51, where they would essentially play Dungeons and Dragons. I forget what they called it in the show, but it was Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it was a parody on D&D.
Exactly. And the main character, TJ, was his name, correct?
Yeah,
TJ. I think he hurt his arm or something,
and he broke it.
Yeah, he broke it, and he wasn't allowed to go outside for recess, so he had to go out to Room 51 to hang out with the pale kids, and he totally fell in love with D&D, playing with them and everything, and completely invested in the nerddom and all that kind of stuff. And that's something that's just kind of stuck with us. We both remember seeing that episode of Dungeons, and I mean that probably is what really gave you the huge push of I need to get the D&D starter set.
Yeah, because it was when I watched that show, I was like, I wonder if board games like that actually exist. Yeah. Because when I watched it, all I knew was like Monopoly and like Scrabble and all that stuff. And I was like, man, it'd be really cool if board games existed that had like a sense of adventure and theme and all that stuff.
Exactly.
And it wasn't until much later where I discovered Google. And I started looking into things, and this game kept popping up called Dungeons and Dragons. I hadn't heard of Dungeons and Dragons until I was 18 years old. And it's funny because I kept blowing it over. I was like, no, this looks boring. I don't know what that is. Like, that's not a board game. Because you just see like grids or whatever. I don't know. And a bunch of people just like, I don't know, talking.
Stuff, yeah, and
I was like, I don't know what this is. But then finally I was like, okay, what is this game? And it sounded amazing. And essentially that's what then wound up getting us into board games, because that's how I discovered the Dice Tower and Will Wheaton and all that stuff. So and that's how we got our start into board gaming. So we thought, why not call it Room 51?
Exactly,
And so that's where that is.
So what is the origin? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Rolling with Rock also said sponsors would be amazing.
Yes, they would be. Whew.
The construction seems to not be too bad.
Right.
But Board Game Dad's never heard of this cartoon.
Yeah. I actually
Check it out. It's
rewatched the
cool. I
episode.
like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it. Like I said, it was my favorite cartoon for a while. The second part of that question, though, was what's the origin of the logo? Now, our sister, who is actually in here, Eileen Makak,
Yeah.
she is a graphic designer. Well, not really, but she knows how to do graphic design.
Yeah.
And that's what she studied in college. And so we said, Eileen, can you make something for us?
Yeah.
And so she chose a prism.
Right.
Because they're I forget why. Actually, Eileen, you're in the
Yeah,
chat. Like,
it's-
what made you do this? Now we knew blue because like we love blue. We liked the
Yeah,
blue and
blue
white
and
contrast.
white and
We always
everything.
loved that.
Yeah.
Blue is both of our favorite colors.
Yeah.
So we went with that, and then there was something about a prism, like how it's all encompassing of different things. And me and Justin are very
Maybe.
we're very into so many different things.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Envy, and
Hi,
thank you.
Envy.
Thank you for staying or
Yeah.
stopping by, even though you can't stay very long.
Yeah,
Thank you
you.
for stopping by. Tim Eileen in the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, and me and Justin, we're very like interested in so many different things, and we get very like, I don't know, we're obsessive.
We are. We're very obsessive.
Yeah, so I guess that's what the prism encompassed. It was like where prisms like reflect things, and that's also something we like to do. We love having conversations.
Yeah.
We take things in and we give things back, you know?
Right.
So I think that's where the logo inspiration came from. Eileen, please tell us if
Yeah.
we're totally off the mark with it.
Yeah.
But it was created a while ago, so I kind of
was.
don't quite remember exactly all the thought that went into it, but
Right.
there was thought that went into
Yeah.
it, especially
Man.
on Eileen's part.
And I think it came out cool.
Yeah, I like it. I'm like, Route 51. It's
Yeah.
simple. It's clean.
Exactly. And it's also easily to be made into an icon, which is nice. But
If
yeah.
you both like blue, what colors do you play as in board games? Oh,
I've lately been I mess around with it, you know.
Mess around.
I used to always try to go for blue, and you always tried to go for blue, but lately I like to change it up. I get random with it. I'll play black, I'll play white, red.
yeah.
I avoid
think-
yellow.
You avoid yellow. Now, I typically play blue. That's what I'll go for. If I don't get blue, I'll usually go white.
Hmm.
If not white, black. But sometimes I'll go yellow, mostly because that's only if Catherine's not playing,
She always
and
is.
she loves playing yellow, so
Yeah.
then I'll play yellow. Or like if I'm playing solo games, I'll usually have like the AI character play as yellow,
Right.
just because that's fun for me.
Also, Eileen said it started with a triangle for the three of us, right?
Right.
And then grew into something more sturdy. I'm not good with words.
No,
Yeah,
it
that
makes
worked
sense
out.
to me. Yeah, I thought it had something to do with like the three of us,
Right.
like how it had like the 3 points.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, wait, a prism doesn't actually have 3 sides; it's got like 4.
Yeah, I guess. Oh,
But
yeah.
like, yeah, if you take the triangles, each point, like it's the 3 of us, the 3 siblings, and we played board games together all the time growing up.
That's another nail in the coffin for me, Rod. That me avoiding yellow. Whew.
Oh, snap!
Wow.
I hear a horn, and all I can think is a New Yorker yelling, "I'm walking here!"
I'm walking here. All right, though.
Yellow's the best. Justin, you are digging yourself a coffin there.
Nah. So, what is the next question, though?
I usually play blue, so I can never play games with you.
Wow.
Envy, no, please, we want to. I'll play something else, I promise.
Nah, she'll fight you on it.
I'll fight you, but you'll win.
Wow.
The next question is, and Eileen says, are many dimensions? Yes.
Yes, nice.
Definitely are many. We got a lot of stuff. We won't get into that. Catherine said this question's from our mom apparently. What about my point on the prism?
Well,
Oh
now
yeah,
the prism
Mom.
has a
You're
fourth
there.
point, actually.
Yeah, it does have a 4 points. You're there,
So
Mom.
you are there. Yeah. Our Lodo does have that fourth point.
It's there. You're there, Ma. um, the next question though is from somebody who messaged us.
Yes.
Who is your favorite famous person? I already know mine.
Oh, I know yours too. You did start with yours. I have a thought process on mine, but it's tricky. I don't know.
Okay, my favorite famous person at this very moment is Noelle Stevenson.
Right.
She is non-binary, goes by he, she, they, and he wrote the amazing television show called She-Ra, Princesses of Power, which is on Netflix, and everybody should watch it.
Right.
And also they wrote a couple of like graphic novels, so like Nimona, which is so good. Also, she writes Lumberjanes as the comic, which is also really good. Noelle Stevenson
For the win.
for the freaking win. That is my favorite famous person as of now.
So I'm actually a little sad because the Brothers Murph just dropped in the chat, and this is gonna sound like brown nosing, but if you count the Brothers Murph as famous, it's the Brothers Murph.
Really?
So here's the issue for me. I don't really like famous people. I'm not. So first, I started thinking about comedians. Most of them are a-holes. I can't. A comedian, I guarantee you, I can find something they've said that I disagree with, and they pissed me off at some point. So there's no comedians that I like there. A lot of celebrities and stuff, I'm just none of them make me feel like, oh, that's my favorite. That's the one. I have fictional characters that are my favorite, but if you count the Brothers Murph as favorite, I don't know what amount of YouTube subscribers do you need till you're considered famous? Like what threshold do you need to hit?
I think Brothers Murph are famous in the board gaming community.
And that's like
Noelle Stevenson, I don't think is like famous, but I think she's famous in like the writer community and like things like that.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the other thing. I was trying to think if like there's any, like there's nobody that like I actually gravitate towards that's famous that I'm like I love this person. There's some I guess celebrities I follow on social media that I'm like, you're pretty cool. I like you.
I mean, Elliot Page is awesome. I mean, Elliot.
There's definitely not a politician that I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, that's my favorite person. And I'm not gonna bring up anybody historical because that's just asking for controversy. Like,
I guess like my favorite like celebrity would be, you know, like if we're going for acting, would probably be Emma Stone.
What about somebody that I liked their acting and stuff, like I enjoy Bradley Cooper's acting a lot.
Bradley Cooper, totally underrated. So good. But in terms of singers, Ed Sheeran, he's my favorite. Although I did not like his latest album. I think Multiply or whatever that album was called was his best album.
I see what you're saying now. Like like for example, for me, like Creedence Clearwater Revival, Fleetwood Mac, those are groups that I really like. Yeah, it's tricky to say my favorite famous person. It's a good question though, but I'm not sure.
That was a good one. Yeah, but for sure, Noelle Stevenson. I'm sorry, that is my favorite famous person, and I don't care.
I got a good one. I really like Brian Quinn from Impractical Jokers. I really like specifically Q from Impractical Jokers.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
That might be it. I got one. Bam.
And he is a comedian.
He is. That's true, actually. He is. And there have been some stuff he said that has pissed me off, but I still love him.
All right, you can go ahead and read the Brothers Murph. Hello, Brothers Murph, by the way.
Yeah, how is
Thank
it
you
hanging?
for stopping in.
How have you been? As I say, what's the most challenging part of content creation, and what's been the most rewarding? Most rewarding for me is super easy. The viewers. The viewers have been super. That's been the most rewarding part of content creation for sure.
Same.
Getting people to comment, talk to us on stream, things like that. That's been super rewarding. And then also being a part of the board game content creating community, super rewarding, for sure.
Yeah, for me, the most rewarding, a lot of what Justin said, the viewers and everything. I've actually made some friends along the way, both viewers and content creators alike. Like, legitimately, like, just hung out and like played video games together.
Right.
Online, even during this pandemic and everything, and just talk to people of all ages too. I mean, you know, and it was funny because for a while I was like, man, I have no friends. And all of a sudden, like, I have friends now, you know, just because like I do this thing that I like. But yeah, the viewers and the friendships that have been made is definitely been the most rewarding.
Right. I agree with that completely. For challenging, probably just like, because this isn't like, it's when you're tired and you still need you feel like, oh, I want to keep to my schedule though. I feel like that's probably the most challenging part, is to make sure that you are keeping to your schedule, you know?
Yeah. The most challenging part for me is spreading myself too thin, where like I'll guest on a bunch of things. I'll you know, be making videos for Room 51, the Dice Tower, and then like a bunch of other people, and I have a full-time job.
Right.
And then on top of that, like, I'm dealing with anxiety. Like, legitimately diagnosed with anxiety disorder kind of thing. And just trying to keep it together. And there's been a point where I actually had to step away from Room 51 and just making videos altogether for a little while, and Justin had to pick it up for me. And it's still an ongoing process where I'm still like, I have to take it one step at a time, take it slow. There was a point where we were getting a bunch of board games from people. We stopped doing that. We're like, horrible. We're not taking board games from anyone anymore. But now we've been doing it a little bit, like one at a time. Like every so often, we'll be like, okay, yes, we'll take that board game. We'll make content for it.
Right. Just want to quickly say bye, Ambi. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Just dealing with like the actual stress of content creation sometimes when you are agreeing to do it feels like you have this contract that you really want to keep.
Yeah, because it's like, it's things that I want to do. It's just that I don't have enough time in the day, and on top of that, like, I'm dealing with anxiety.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's been a couple of times where I actually had to cancel on people because I was in the middle of a panic attack.
Right.
So that's been the most challenging part for me.
That made total sense. Also, by the way, the Brothers Murph did put their fame, I think, perfectly. As I say to people who asked us about our fame, we're very well known in a very, very small world. Yeah, that's kind of one of the fun things, though, about board gaming.
I know, it's like you don't have to deal with the fame, but you also get to be kind of famous.
Yeah, you have a little bit of fame. Like, it's pretty cool.
I just wanted to point out, Rolling with Rock said, I remember when you had to step back for a bit. Somehow Justin kept it afloat.
It was... with tact, I kept it afloat. It was... No, it actually... I was quite nervous at first. I was like, oh god, I'm going to be doing this by myself for a little bit.
He had a little bit of help.
I got getting the help from Sabrina especially made it a lot easier with the videos and the streaming and stuff. Yeah. And I
felt bad about that, but I just couldn't do it. I could barely get out of bed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, and that happens, it happens, you know, what you didn't do. But the Brothers Murph also said, yeah, the idea of all the free games is not nearly as cool as people think. It's mostly just incredibly stressful, and
it is
just 100%.
stressful.
100%. I thought it was going to be so cool to get free games.
I know. The first time I got a free game,
oh my god,
for specifically for doing Teach the Teach from Jamie Stegmaier, I was like, Jamie Stegmaier is speaking to me, like, and is sending me a game for free. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I've done it.
Yeah, and then you feel like you made it.
Yeah, you made it, right? But then as the games start coming on in, it's like, okay, this is a lot. Like, I can't. Like, I play board games for fun, not for like work.
Exactly. All right. So Ma asked a question.
Yeah, Elaine Cataletto, that is our mother.
Yes.
What is your favorite board game to play with your ma? I honestly, I like playing anything with you. Like, if you're down to play a board game, I am stoked because
Yeah.
so many times she's just like, no,
No, not
I'm
doing it.
tired, blah blah blah. You know, like I love trying to play different games. I guess my favorite would be like Ticket to Ride because I know that's one of your favorites, and I could see how much fun you're having
Right.
playing that one. But I just love playing board games in general with you when you're willing to actually play the board game with us.
Right. Yeah, for me, I think mine. So I was at first thinking Dixit because that is a fun one, but I think it's probably The Crew or King because they're trick taking and that's totally just Ma's territory.
That is her territory.
She
Yeah.
really enjoys that, so that it's probably those two games, The Crew and King.
Okay, I
Alright.
just read Ambi's thing. Not only did she have to go,
Yeah.
because a kid smashed his face into the ground. What?
I hope he's all right.
I hope they're all right. What the heck?
That happened to me. I turned out fine.
I mean, she's not here anymore, but I didn't realize that. Brothers Murph also
Ooh.
said, fun fact, we've been to Bradley Cooper's house. He was
Yeah.
cool. What the heck?
What
How?
the heck?
Why?
How?
Can I be there?
He does seem cool though. He seems
He
very
does seem
cool.
really cool. He is such a good actor, and I
He's
feel like he
amazing.
went so underrated. Like,
Yeah.
Silver Linings Playbook pissed me off because Jennifer Lawrence got so much hype for that movie, and I felt like she did an okay job. I thought Bradley Cooper
He killed it.
killed it, man.
Yeah.
I thought he actually carried the movie. Like, if it wasn't for him, that movie would have been meh.
Yeah. Actually, I agree with you. I think that A Star is Born, I think he totally carried that
Oh
movie.
my god, yeah.
I think he
yeah.
100% carried that movie.
He's so
yeah.
good. And this is no thing. I like Jennifer Lawrence. She's cool.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think, you know.
I think she's
but
good.
Bradley Cooper is amazing.
Yeah, I think he's phenomenal. And so the Brothers Smurf asked an interesting question. It's a little similar to one that we had earlier, but not the same. Where would you like to see Room 51 in a year?
Huh.
I want to be a late night talk show. Oh, no. I think that's what we gotta turn into. Oof, that is tough, man.
In a year, I would like. It would be really cool if we reached 1,000 subscribers a year from now.
Yeah.
I don't think it will happen, to be honest.
That's,
But if
yeah.
we could do that in 1 year, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and because we don't try to, like, we're not usually like, oh yeah, subscribe to our channel, blah blah blah, because
Right.
like I want people who subscribe to actually watch our videos.
Same.
I don't want to have 1,000 subscribers, but only like 20 people watch. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that kind of follows with what I was gonna say because I was gonna be like, in a year, I kind of just want to be bigger. Like.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I don't know exactly quantifiably how much bigger. I would just like to be bigger, but also like grow the community, and be able to really have like those interesting dialogues and conversations that we've always wanted. That's what we wanted from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what we said from the beginning. That's what my latest video was about.
Yeah.
For Mind Over Meta.
Exactly, and that's why it's like I don't mean bigger in the sense of more people know us, but more in the sense of like there's just more roomies. There's just more of us now. There's more in our community, you know.
Yeah. I just want to know more people. I want people to know us.
Yeah, exactly.
And feel a sense of like comfort in Room 51. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? I'm going through a tough time. I could watch Room 51 and feel some sort of comfort.
Yeah.
Or I'm going through a great time and I could watch some Room 51 and be entertained. You know,
Yeah.
like that's what I want. For Room 51. So from a year from now, I would like to just be bigger.
Yeah.
And reach more people.
And if we're talking like super far-fetched, or far-fetched but within reason still, would be to maybe have like a decent sponsorship. That'd be pretty cool. If we were sponsored in a year from now. I would want though like a nice deal though, you know. I don't want it to be a stressful sponsorship. I would want a chill sponsorship. But that would be like the more far-fetched idea of where to see us in a year.
Yeah, honestly, I feel both of our things are far-fetched. I don't know.
Yeah.
We just got a little bit of growth spurt right now based off my latest video.
Right.
I don't know how many of those people will actually continue watching. We'll see. Hopefully they do. That'd be really cool. But let me go back over to a question that's been
Yes.
that was messaged to us. If given $1 million, what would you spend it on? I know exactly what it would be.
I immediately have just the idea a house.
Yes, that's mine too.
Yeah.
I know it. Some people want to go with like, I'd give it all to charity.
Oh
No, I'm buying a house. Okay, that is what I want. I'm in the middle of buying a condo right now. It has been hell, first of all. But second of all, to live in a house in where we live, we're in New York, we live in Brooklyn, you need $1 million
Yeah. Just about.
to buy a house
Yeah.
here. Like that might not even cover it because some of them
Yeah.
are more than $1 million.
Oh, yeah.
So you still have a mortgage that you're trying to pay off.
Absolutely.
The fact that we're getting a condo is like we're just scraping on by,
Yeah.
hoping to God that it works.
Yeah.
You know. But that is what I would get. I would get a house because that would be amazing.
Yeah.
In New York.
Yeah, I would get a house in New York, and yeah,
Brooklyn
I can't
specifically.
think of something. And let's say though, like if we took out a house as a factor, right? Like, imagine I already owned a house I'm cool with where I live and everything. I think that I would. I think what I would have to do is buy like a shop. Like I don't know, I would want like my own store maybe.
Yeah.
But I would want to own the space. That's why I'm
Space.
saying it. I would want to own the space.
That's a cool one. Yeah, I would. I that was what I wanted to do originally. I wanted to open up a board game shop, and then I was doing content creation. I was like, actually, I really like content creation, so I'll be doing that right now.
Right.
But somewhere down the road, like I would love to open up like a board game shop.
Actually, that even so, the brothers Murph said, "Okay, what would you do though if you had $1 million and you had to spend it on Room 51?" I would consider opening up a Room 51 board game cafe.
Yeah, same. I would do like a Room 51 board game cafe, either that or like a legit studio, like totally
Yeah.
revamp. Get somebody. I would hire someone.
Yeah,
to
do the
help
whole
us.
design. Yeah.
Like designing, like figuring out like lights and cameras and everything.
Yeah.
Just so we could have, first of all, like a legit crew just to help us because we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like PR team. I don't know, the whole 9 yards.
I
you know?
would want to combo like I would want to drop $1 million to own the space that can be like a cafe, and then somewhere in the back or the basement we have like a studio going on.
That'd be so
Like,
dope.
that would be.
That'd be cool.
And I don't know if $1 million to cover that all in New York.
No, I mean
but-
I'd have to also like pitch
Yeah.
in with my own money or whatever. I mean
Right.
I do work, so like
Yeah.
I could do that. But if I was given $1 million, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
and I would want to go all out, like really nice table, nice computer, lights, camera, everything. I would want to go all out on that kind of setup, and grow the board game collection as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know.
More than we already have. I mean, like
Yeah.
you know, I think we're. I don't
So-
know where we're at.
So Rolling with Rock asked, "Do you find Twitch or YouTube content more rewarding?" Gotta be Twitch. I love interacting with the viewers on Twitch.
It's tough. It depends. Twitch usually yes. YouTube sometimes, depending on the content that's being made. Like I love doing my mind over meta stuff because like interesting conversations come up. But that's like what happens on Twitch. So I guess that's what I find rewarding is like the conversations that come up.
Yeah.
And like I mean, even people who totally disagree with me. Sometimes they don't answer me when I answer back and I get really annoyed. I'm like, damn it, we could have had an open dialogue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's what's rewarding to me, and like and on Twitch we're able to like actually raise donations for specific organizations and really like pump up like
Yeah.
the gay agenda.
Yeah. That's what we're all about here at Room 51.
The gay
honestly.
agenda.
The gay agenda. We
No,
have
but like you know,
weekly
talking about
meetings.
LGBTQ plus stuff is really cool. But
Yeah.
I would say most of the time Twitch is most rewarding. YouTube can sometimes become really rewarding depending on the response we get back from our videos.
They're both cool, but yeah, I agree. Also, by the way, the brothers Murph on an earlier question just did say that they think bitter is a totally acceptable answer. It's hard to make specific goals in content creation because so much of it is out of your control.
It is. It's like I don't know what
Yeah.
people are gonna watch or do. Like we had no idea that the latest video would reach
Nah.
it's like at 1.5K. I
Yeah.
thought it would be really cool if it reached 500 views today.
Yeah, legit.
I was like, that's what I was hoping for. That
Yeah.
it went to the extent that it did is amazing.
Insane,
Like
yeah.
crazy stuff. And now Paula Deming knows who I am.
Yeah, that's always that was
That
the
has
next
been
big
my
step.
goal. That was my goal. Oh, next big step, I want to be in a board game. That's what I want.
That's a good point. I would love to be in a board game. I would love to
Yes.
be in like a historical board game where they throw me in there.
Please, what?
I would
I just
love
want to be
that.
in some sort of board game. And I want to be cool. And I want to be totally non-binary character.
I want to be
um,
evil.
I want to be, yeah, I don't care what you make me. No, I do. Actually, make me good because non-binary characters,
Yeah, you gotta be
we've
dead.
already gotten the evil.
Yeah.
We need the good characters now.
Are we going back, by the way, to the questions asked before? I gotta
let's do
eat a
it.
little snack, y'all. I'm getting allergies, and allergies make me ravenous.
Great. Ravenous.
They do.
The Brothers Murph also wrote in all caps, the gay agenda! Love that. But yeah, so do you have any advice for aspiring or future content creators? Now, we're still fairly new to this, so I kind of feel a bit weird giving advice, but as somebody who is new to this, we've been doing it for a couple of years at this point.
Yeah.
And again, we're not very big, so we don't know how to get you big or anything, but I would say my biggest absolute advice is to make sure you are having fun with it. Don't burn yourself out by feeling like I have to be everywhere, because that's what we did. We felt like we gotta be everywhere, and we gotta just keep pumping. We gotta get the games, we gotta do like all these things, and at the end of the day, we don't gotta do anything. This is a hobby for us. We barely get paid for this, if anything at all. This is it should be something that you do because you love it, and that it's something that's fun. Don't stretch yourself out too thin. I learned that the very hard way, and I still make that mistake because I am a hyper crazy person with anxiety. But yes, make sure that you're taking care of yourself and having fun. That is my biggest advice.
At the end of the day, I would say make sure you're doing you. You gotta do what you're into when it comes to content creation, and that's it. Don't try to be like someone else. Do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I see Henry says, I joined from the Everdell video. Looking forward to see what you make in the next year. I think 1,000 subs can happen. Thank you so much, Henry, and thank you.
And also,
thank you for stopping by, too.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Also, thank you, Sam, for saying, hi, guys. Just want to let you know I'm also here, and I love your content. Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. I am glad you're here. We love you watching our content.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Catherine asked, how about Room 51 retreat?
Would love to do that.
Yes.
If it didn't ever happen.
If it didn't happen. It would be very small.
It would be amazing, though.
It would be so awesome, because we do have a little house up in Pennsylvania that we've thought about doing this. Max we could bring is about 7 people.
Yes. Just about.
Just about. And that'll be tight. During pandemic season, it might not be the best idea.
Exactly.
But we would love to do like a roomy retreat thing where like we could go hiking or whatever, but also just play tons of board games. That is something that we've spoken about on Twitch too. I don't know how to make it happen just yet, especially with the pandemic and everything, but it's something that is in the back of our minds that we would like to do at some point.
Yeah, I think that a Room 51 retreat would be pretty freaking awesome. It would be amazing. I would love to have something going there. So a question, though, that we had before was, have you played Dune Imperium yet? So Dune Imperium is right there. It is
baby.
Being showcased. Yeah, we played it. Me and you both have played it twice now.
Yes.
I freaking loved it, and I think it can become one of my favorite game of all time. I think it has the potential to become my favorite game of all time.
This was a surprise for me because I thought I would like it, but oh my gosh, I love that game. I did not realize how much I would love it. It is so freaking good. It has so many things that I love in a board game. Worker placement, deck building, and your cards have like different things you could do with them. It's like, okay, either I'm using this card for its like special ability, or I'm using it so that I could send my worker out to a specific location.
Exactly. I love
You know,
that
I
decision.
love when cards do that. And
Yeah.
actually, I'm designing a game with Kingfisher, who's not here right now.
Right.
And we're thinking about doing something with that sort of mechanism of like having the cards do different things. I love when games do that.
Same. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Dune Imperium is so up my wheelhouse. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And I'm thinking of actually buying a copy for myself
Yeah.
as well, because I'm going to move out.
Right.
But I like it that much that, like, I want to own it.
Yeah.
It is that good.
And what really impressed me with it was also how the victory point system in this 2-hour game has the same level of intensity as TI4's scoring. That blew my... I could not believe that.
Yeah,
That
it is so
blew
intense.
my
The
mind.
tension, man, is crazy. I love the Brothers Murph response to Catherine for the retreat, the retreat. They would have to rent out 51 rooms, and that starts getting expensive.
Yeah, that's...
But we didn't say how big the rooms had to be, Brothers
Yeah,
Murph.
exactly.
Okay.
Just a little...
Little nut. Like,
Yeah.
only one person could fit in the room.
Yeah.
No bathroom, no shower, nothing.
None of that.
It's just a chair. Rolling with Rock says, yeah, I've always said if I had the money, the first thing I would do is hire an editor to help. An editor would be amazing. Sabrina does awesome things.
Yeah.
Love it, but she does not have the time
No.
to deal with our nonsense.
Yeah. But it is amazing when we get that to happen.
Rolling with Rock also said, hopefully
Yeah.
Google isn't listening to all this getting bigger conversations, or the ads are going to be awkward later. My ads are already awkward.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I getting this? Like, what have I been speaking about that this is happening?
I never get normal ads. I always get the weirdest crap.
Let's hear it. Here we are. Okay.
All right.
You can go ahead and read the next question.
So what kind of post-production software do you use to make your videos? So we both use OpenShot, which is this free video editing software. It's nothing special. It's it's free.
Okay.
Yeah. But when we have Sabrina or Catherine do any editing, they have Mac, so they use iMovie, which does such better stuff.
It's way better. But yeah, OpenShot Video Editor, it's for Windows. It's free. You could download it. And that's what I use for everything I make, for Room 51, for Dice Tower, for who's ever I'm guesting on, whatever it is. It's OpenShot.
Yep.
All
right.
And we're about to run out of time, actually.
Yes, we are. Do we want to end off with one more question?
Let's do one more. We have one more question, and we might just do this again at some point because we have a whole lot of other questions that we didn't get through, which is awesome. I was I was so nervous. I was like, we're gonna get no questions. Nobody's gonna care. But it is. What is your greatest unfulfilled ambition? I have 3.
Really? I guess there are. I have 2 off the top of my head, actually. So, I mean, 1, I want to be a father, but that's not like. I don't view it as an unfulfilled ambition, as in I hope actually eventually it'll be fulfilled. The other one is more questionable, and it's I
didn't realize that was like such a big ambition for you.
Yeah, I would like to be a father.
Yeah, I want to be a father too.
Yeah, see? Yeah, no, that's pretty big for me. So that would probably be one that's not fulfilled yet. Number 2, I want to be a historian, and that one's much trickier than making babies. So that one, that hopefully will eventually be fulfilled. But yeah, so that would probably be the other greatest unfulfilled ambition for me. I want to be a historian. Okay. I'm sure I'm missing one.
Yes. Yeah, that one I knew about you. Hexy Beast just dropped on in. I'm late. No, it's okay. I mean, this is going to be recorded, so you could watch it.
Right.
I hope that this is going to be recorded. This is the first time we ever did like a streaming thing on YouTube. So
yeah, exactly.
Justin, cue the tears again. This has been great, you two. It's always fun to hang out with you both, and I look forward to some Rocket League with you
Heck
sometime.
yeah.
Yes, we have been thinking about this Rolling
Absolutely.
with Rock, and it will happen.
Yeah.
Brothers Murph, I don't know which one you are, but we're thinking about specifically Mike Murphy also getting in on that because I know he's been playing Rocket League.
Yeah.
Nick Murphy, if you'd like to join, absolutely, we
Heck
will
yeah,
not
come
turn
through.
you away. It's just
Yeah.
the lesser. No, I'm just kidding. But I will also answer this. So,
Yeah.
unfulfilled ambitions. I've got 3,
Hit us with it.
and they are. So one, I am currently in the process of trying to get my research study published.
Yeah.
So that is an unfulfilled ambition that is in the works and hopefully will be sent out to a publishing place next week.
Heck yeah.
It best be. The pandemic really slowed the whole process down for me.
Right.
But it is about board games, so it'd be really cool to like share with everybody about that.
Yes.
But it's a legitimate like research study, approved, all of that, IRB approved and everything. So if that could be published, that would be amazing. Like I said earlier, my poetry book, if I could get that published, that would be amazing. So that's an unfulfilled ambition.
Yeah.
And then third would be for this board game design to be published as well. All publishing things, right? Like that. That's what I
Yeah.
just want to get published somewhere, people.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I feel like board game design, that's an ambition that goes in and out. But that is something that if I ever got something board game related or Dungeons and Dragons related, I have a an adventure idea that I would love to get published.
He has a really cool idea.
And so if that ever happened, that would be awesome. But I would consider that like one tier down from the 2 that I mentioned. And the Brothers Murph, though, by the way, asked a fantastic question. If I were to design a game about the mythical city of Yonter, so now we know we are talking to Nick, where should I start? Wait, I got them right. Yeah, I always screw up their names. Because my problem is Mike looks like Nick, looks like a Nick, and Nick looks like a Mike. Like, it looks like that should be their name.
You two have the wrong names.
Yeah, you guys had to swap.
You need to switch.
So I'm pretty sure it's Nick. If I were to design a game about the mythical city of Yonters, where should I start? That is a phenomenal question.
That is
the
great.
problem with Yonters is like to design a game, there's just so much in Yonters, you know? You got Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, all inside of Yonters. So I would say it should be about designing the 5 boroughs of the legendary Yonters.
The legendary, yeah.
The legendary Yonters.
And honestly, I would just start with Brooklyn.
Yeah, I would say exactly. Try to make the greatest Brooklyn. Because everybody knows Yonters has 2 Brooklyn, so it should be a 2-player game where each are trying to decide their own Brooklyn.
Exactly.
By the way, Etsy Beast, we do play on PC.
Yes, we are absolutely PC players. I mean, we play like the Switch and stuff, but for the most part, we're PC players.
Yeah, we're big time PC.
Yeah, built my own computer.
Yeah, heck yeah.
For gaming.
Everyone switches us up. Don't worry. All right. No, I hate switching you guys up. Like, I feel like they know you guys too well to mess it up.
I know. Like we've played board games with you and video games.
Yeah.
And we've recorded things with you, and we still mix up your names. It's crazy. I'll watch. I'm real bad. That's okay. That's okay. We're not great.
Yeah. We sucked.
Rolling with Rock. I mean, they did do a hair switch over a few years. I know. It's another problem.
The huge mistake on their part. They should have never done that to the viewers. It's
I know.
Confused
like,
everybody.
why would you do that to us?
It's actually, I love, like, when you watch the older videos, how it's like, wait, it's the opposite now. And I can't, like, picture them the opposite anymore. Like, now it's like, no, Nick has long hair, Mike has short hair. Like, that's how it is.
Hexy Beast asks, is there a Godfather game? Area control of Yonkers could be good. There is a Godfather game. I don't know much about it, though.
That's how you make the board game of Yonkers. Make it an area control game, not of, like, gangs or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're a pizza parlor, and you want to control as large of an area as possible within Yonkers. Fun fact about Yonkers, also known as New York City, I believe there's like 32,000 different pizza restaurants in New York City.
Wow, I actually did not know that.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, we've gone a little bit over our time,
Yeah.
so we'll probably have to do this again at some point because we have tons of other questions. But thank you all for so much
Thank
for coming
you so
on
much.
by,
Yes.
stopping by. I was so nervous. I was like, Justin, we're gonna have no questions. We're gonna just be talking to each other, and that was it. So thank you. Of hot dog stands.
Oh, that would actually be another one. Yeah, have the hot
Yo.
dog stand trying to control as many. You didn't have a leaflet phase. That's right, where you send out
Dude.
people to send flyers. All right.
That would be amazing.
This
Menu
is turning
delivery.
legit.
This is turning legit. Everybody, we're creating a board game together now of the legendary place called Yonkers.
Yonkers.
Thank you for stopping on
Yes.
by. Hit me up if you ever want to chat game design. Henry, absolutely. I am in the middle
Heck
of
yeah.
designing a game with, like I said, Kingfisher, who's not here today right now. But we have tons of ideas. Me and Justin, we always come up with an idea for
Yeah.
designing the game. We just never follow through. But Henry, you could absolutely join our Discord. Actually, we should probably pop that into the chat somewhere.
I don't know how we can.
I don't know how either, but if you come by our Twitch stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. EST,
Ooh.
Room 51 Live, the Discord gets dropped there. So we could do that. But thank you all
you
again. This
all.
has been a lot of fun.
We will try to stay hetsy.
We will absolutely stay hexy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one.